I think economic growth and fairness can go together. It's up to us as democratic citizens to find ways to increase the productivity of the economy that give workers a fair share of the contributions they make. Part of the problem here, speaking about the American economy over the past 4 decades, is that productivity has increased, but the share of that productivity that has gone to workers has decreased. It doesn't have to be this way. For the 4 decades after the Second World War, productivity grew. I'm speaking about the American economy. And the share that went to workers also grew, but prosperity in recent decades has not been shared. Most of the gains of globalization since the mid-1970s in America, most of the gains have gone to the top 20 or 30%. And for the bottom 50 or 60% of workers, they have gained almost not at all. It does not have to be this way. It was not this way during the years from the after the Second World War up to about the mid-70s. You're right, it isn't easy. There is no single statistic that can answer that question for us. We often assume that the money people make is the measure of their contribution to the common good. But this is a mistake. And this is an argument that I make in The Tyranny of Merit. It's a mistake because, well, we have seen during the pandemic, those of us who were able to work from home have recognized how deeply we depend on workers we often overlook. I'm thinking, for example, of delivery workers, warehouse workers, grocery store clerks, childcare workers, nurse assistants. These are not the best paid or most honored workers in our societies. And yet now, during the pandemic, we've been calling them essential workers, key workers. So this could be an opportunity for a broader public debate about how to bring their pay and recognition into better alignment with the importance of the work they do. So there is not a single statistic that can tell us who contributes most. But what we can say is that the money people make is not a true measure of the importance of their contribution. There are hedge fund managers. They earn, in some cases, 800, 900 times as much as a nurse or as a doctor treating COVID patients. And yet, would we say that the contribution of a high-frequency stock trader is truly 800 times or 900 times more valuable than the contribution of the nurse or the doctor? Most people would say no. And therefore, we have to have a public debate about how to bring the pay of essential workers into closer approximation of what we all consider to be the importance and the value of their contribution.